There's been a lot of speculation about what cards will get buffed, what cards will get nerfed, especially, and how much things like Demon Hunter right now in the meta is going to change after these nerfs. So, the nerfs and patch notes just came out. Let's take a look at what is changing. So, it looks like the first thing we see is Drekthar is getting changed. This is definitely one that a lot of people kind of expected or hoped for, some people not, but let's take a look at what changed with it. Before it was summon 2. Now, if this costs more than every minion in your deck, summon 1 of those. So it will only summon 1 minion instead of 2 now. I personally really like this change. I think this is the most kind of respectable. It doesn't change the way the card works. It's not changing the stats on it, and it still feels like it will be a pretty powerful effect. I really like that change. Multi-strike is changing, gonna cost 2. Yep, this is one that a lot of people also kind of expected, but that 2 mana will still allow it to be pretty powerful without it being kind of over the top. The next one is Dragonbane Shot. Yeah, Quest Hunter doing a lot of work lately, but look at that going up to 3 mana from 2. This will definitely make a huge difference. I think 2 mana for the 2 damage and getting a copy oftentimes has definitely allowed Quest Hunter to do a lot of things like playing a Dragonbane Shot plus a hero power in the same turn, or even 2 Dragonbane Shots. Having this at 3 mana will just slow it down that slight bit. I think that's a great change. Now, this is interesting. This is, I know somebody that, or lots of people were talking about this. The above craftable cards will be eligible for full dust refund for 2 weeks. The only version of Drekthar that is craftable is the normal. Any players who own Diamond Drekthar at the time the patch goes live will automatically receive 3,000 gold when they log in as a refund. That's fairly reasonable. Now let's take a look at buffs. Yes, I'm so excited for buffs. Ooh, all right, we have a Colossal being buffed. Xylag, the Xylag stock, interesting. So at the end of the turn, it's going to deal 2 damage instead of the 1 damage. This is really cool. I was a fan of Xylag when it was first revealed. I thought this could be a really cool thing, but just that 1 damage didn't feel very good. But 2 damage, that could be something. I mean, I'm not sure though how this is still going to feel in Demon Hunter. It still might be a little too slow, but maybe people will shift to something like this over the more aggressive Demon Hunters. Harpoon Gun, really? Harpoon Gun is getting a buff. I actually thought this was a great card already, reducing the cost of the beast you get by 3. So the mana cost of this is staying the same. The stats on the weapon itself staying the same, but if you dredge up a beast, that beast will be discounted by 3. That is pretty cool, I think. We might start to see a little bit more variety in Hunter. Both Drekthar and Dragonbane Shot are getting nerfed, and Harpoon Gun's getting a buff. We might see more variety in Hunter. Oh, and Pet Collector. Okay, what's going on with Hunter here? Pet Collector going up to a 4/4. I think that's pretty reasonable. The 3/3 body felt kind of bad. This, I think, makes it at least a little bit more solid. Might still not see a great amount of play. It's going to be kind of interesting. I think along with, if it was just Pet Collector without this Harpoon Gun buff, might not see as much play, but because they're both getting buffed, oh my goodness, and the Saber, yeah, there's definitely going to be some changes for Hunter because of these. That 4 attack on this rush minion actually, I think, is fantastic. Also, buffing the second half of that Saber makes sense, kind of keeping it consistent. Another Colossal here, the Priest Colossal, getting its cost reduced by 1. That seems all right. I'm not sure what kind of priest decks we still will see, or if priest is really going to rise up in the meta with this change. Oh well, I guess a second change here. Whirlpool going to cost a little bit less. This could be really interesting. I think if some more druids, or maybe even like bigger later game demon hunters, become more popular, maybe this gets used a little more. I could also see the changes to this making it a little bit easier or more consistent for quest priest to actually complete their quests using these cards. So that could be something here. The Shadow Cloth Needle now costing 1. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. It seems okay. This might not be relevant right now, maybe this becomes a little bit more relevant with the future cards. Serpent Wig getting a buff. Now it is give a minion +1/+2. So they just increased the health that you get for this. Again, seems okay. I don't know if this is still going to get a ton of use. Tooth of Nefarian costing 2 now instead of 3, so they are also doing some buffs for Rogue. Okay, I mean, 2 mana for deal 3 and maybe an upside if you honorable kill. That's okay. I'm still not sure the spot it's going to want to be played in. Smuggler, SI7 Smuggler, did they revert it back? Summon a random 0 cost minion, and now they're putting it back to the random 1 cost minion. Okay, making some changes to Rogue. The Wild Paw Null, they are reverting this back to how it was. Previously, it was the 5 mana 4/5. Then they changed it to the 6 mana 3/5. But it looks like they are reverting that change. I think this seems pretty reasonable now as we have had a change in a lot of the cards. Wild Paw Null really hasn't been that great. And Tess Greymane, this one's interesting because this is actually in the core set. This being reduced to 7 mana might see a little bit more play. I could definitely see that, especially with the addition of the revert for the Wild Paw Null. People might try some more thief style rogues. Also, Henge Clan Burglar, lots of rogue cards here. Henge Clan Burglar going to a 4/4. I think this seems pretty reasonable. Also, right in line with that thief rogue. The Syracuse Cultist getting a pretty big jump, honestly, getting additional attack and additional health. Dragged below. Oh my gosh, they are buffing all of these curse cards. I know some people were pretty worried about this. I'm a little hesitant because I think these might be a little too good. Dragged below going to 3 damage or 3 mana to deal 4 damage and give a curse seems really strong. The Scavenger, here we go. Murlocs put a Sunken Scavenger on the bottom of the deck. So it looks like they did decrease the cost and the stats for the Scavenger, probably just trying to make Murlocs a little bit easier to actually play in Warlock. And on the other side of that, looks like the other part of that Scavenger. One decrease cost and the decrease in stats. Another Murloc for the Warlock here. Again, same thing as the other two, basically in decrease in cost and a little bit of decrease in the stats. Looks like just trying to make these come out a little bit earlier. Overall, though, I think some really interesting changes. Not very surprised by the nerfs themselves. I think those were somewhat predictable, at least the card that got changed or the cards that got changed. But what do you think of these? What do you expect to see after this patch? What are you going to be trying out? Are you going to be trying any of this stuff? Let me know in the comments below. I am doing a giveaway for a $20 Steam gift card through my coffee page. You can check all of that out below. Anyone at the $5 a month or more will be entered every month for a giveaway. And this month it is this $20 Steam gift card. Winner will be picked on June 1st, so make sure you get entered. And thank you to the Roost supporters so far this month for really helping me be able to create this wonderful content and keep this going. Go out there and make today legendary. I'll see you in the next one.